Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dear friends in Dhamma, today I am going to talk about Arahant Mahakasapa's life story briefly and share my experience of trip to Kukkuṭasampata, Bihar in India, where the place Arahant Mahakassapa did his parinirvana. Parinirvana means his passing away, and his body is enshrined, remain inside the rock without perish. This information was recorded on Sampindita Mahanidana. That book is written in Pali. So let me share his life story first. Arahant Mahakassapa was a great Arahant and also the third principal disciple of the Gautama Buddha, and he was the foremost Arahant in ascetic practice. That means Dhutanga. There are 13 Dhutanga. Okay, this is his artwork, his picture. This artwork made by Gayan Chanukvidana Patirana. And this is the oldest mural of Arahant Mahakassapa. This mural is in China in the Kaisil cave. Is meant to depict his austerity and commitment to Dhutanga, ascetic practice. You can see his eyes shrink and beard, and his body is look like not. He didn't spend much luxury life. And if you want to learn more about Dhutanga, 13 Dhutanga, please check chapter 2 of the Visuddhimagga. This Visuddhimagga was written by the great monk, the Buddha Ghosha. So the Arahant Mahakassapa was the foremost monk of practicing this 13 Dhutanga. And this chapter, the second chapter of Visuddhimagga, is including the 23 different ways to collect the cloth or rags to make a Pansukulika Chivara, which means a robe made of rags and funeral clothes. And Arahant Mahakassapa had 7 out of 32 signs of a great man. On one occasion, an old lady who was a disciple or benefactor of Arahant Mahakassapa, she accidentally gave food to the Buddha, thinking he was Arahant Mahakassapa. They both must have looked very similar. And Arahant Mahakassapa was contented with his requisites, 4 requisites, and he wore rag robes. When that rag robes were received by Buddha, because the Buddha and Venerable Arahant Mahakassapa, they both exchange this Pansukulika Chivara, which made rags. So Buddha get the very luxury robes, and Arahant Mahakassapa received these rag robes. That means Pansukulika Chivara. When Arahant Mahakassapa got old, the Buddha asked him to avoid wearing the rags robes when he was very old, but he continued the strict practice into his old age. This was for his own well-being and as an inspiration for later monks who could emulate this practice. So he wanted to inspire the young monks who wanted to practice this 13 Dhutanga. That's why he didn't want to avoid wearing these rag robes, Pansukulika Chivara. Okay, and dear friends, he used to say like saint of the poor, because he would go on his arms round, especially to the poor, for them to make merits. Once he stood in front of a leper, who leper's finger dropped into his alms bowl while he was offering food. Arahant Mahakassapa was said to partake of that meal mindfully. It was believed that even the gods would vie with each other to give alms to Arahant Mahakassapa. He chided Sakka when he discovered that Sakka transformed himself into an old person with her wife Sujata, Asura lady, to give alms that Arahant Mahakassapa had accepted that food. Anyway, it's a long story, so I am not ready to share that long story. A king of gods were able to offer food to when Arahant Mahakassapa, and he received. Later he advised not to do it again, because it's an opportunity to offer alms to him for poor people. And Venerable Arahant Mahakassapa spent the last part of his life in the Himalayas. After Buddha's passing away, he descended the mountains to take part to a cremation ceremony. Many people tried to make the fire, but they weren't able to until he appeared and bowed to the Buddha's corpse. After Arahant Mahakassapa bowed 3 times, the funeral fire spontaneously combusted. Okay. So later, after Buddha's passing away, funeral fire, so Brahmin Drona took care of the all relics to share among 8 kings. So King Mallas, the rulers of Kushinagar, they received Buddha's frontal bone relics, and Venerable Mahakassapa went to meet them and asked this frontal bone, and he took it, and he asked his disciples to take care of this frontal bone. Later, this frontal bone relics, his disciples gave it to Sri Lanka, and this is where that Buddha's frontal bone is enshrined right now. During King Kavanti's reign, it was built in the 2nd century BCE. So this is the place where the Buddha's frontal bone enshrined nowadays is called Seruvavila Stupa, Sri Lanka, in Trincomalee district. So it's a very amazing place, and also many devotees, Buddhist devotees, come around the world to pay respect to Buddha's frontal bone. So this all history is recorded in Pali Chronicle and commentary. So it's obvious. So after Buddha's passing away, the great Arahant Mahakassapa, he made a Sangha assembly, and it was held at Sattaparni cave in Rajgir, India. It was convened and led by Arahant Mahakassapa with the 500 Arahant, and also King Ajatasattu patronized the events. So this is a beautiful picture of that Sattaparni cave you can see. And this is another picture of Sattaparni cave. According to records, at the last minute, Arahant Ananda finally awakened and was able to join the council. This is another picture of Sattapane cave. It said that there was an outdoor pavilion for the 500 Arahant built outside the cave, but nowadays it's no longer there. So today my special topic, like sharing my experience about visiting this amazing astounding place, is called Kukkuṭasampata mountain, Gurupa, Bihar in India. Arahant Mahakassapa especially liked spending his time in tranquil samadhi. So he lived in the calm area away from Rajagaha kingdom. This is the place he passed into parinirvana. It's said that when he sat for meditation, he used his psychic powers to cause 3 mountains to close in on him, so that his body can remain preserved until Metteya Buddha's time. So you can see this beautiful rock formation on that mountain. So actually last November I was fortunate to visit this amazing and astounding place. So let me share experience of the trip to Kukkuṭasampata mountains. As I said, this all information are recorded in Sampindita Mahanidana Pali book. We started our journey from Bodh Gaya at about 5:30. It is about 50 kilometers away from Bodh Gaya. It took 1.5 hours to get to Gurupa railway station. So this is a picture of Gurupa railway station. After that we had to walk, and it was a nice hike to the top of the mountain. So we started our hike from this railway station. It takes around 2 hours to get there. Nobody felt tired after we get to the top of the mountain. Everyone forgot about their tiredness, but they enjoy the serenity and amazing view of the surrounding area. So this is how we started our journey from Gurupa railway station. This is a video of Gurupa railway station. You can see people and railway, and my fellow monks are walking with their bags. So this is the starting of our tour. This is how that mountain, that Gurupa, like Kukkuṭasampata mountain, view from the bottom of the mountain. So we just walking, and you can see tiny stupa, very tiny, because how we see it from the far. And this is when we hike on the way of our middle way. So we meet this amazing very narrow staircase between 2 rocks, and you can see the picture of the entrance of the staircase. This is picture is entrance, and this is the video that we how we go through that narrow staircase. Is made by rocks. And this is the shrine on the mountain with Mahākassapa Thera's statue. So you can see that Arahant Mahakassapa Thera's statue inside the shrine. And also we paid our homage to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and also chanted Mahākassapa Thera Bojjhanga Sutta on the top of the mountain on our trip. So this is another video that shrines and surrounding view, and Arahant Mahakassapa Thera's statue. So you can see the video that all our fellow monks and the people who stay there and take care of the place, and you can see the area. This is the statue. Okay, so this is the stupa on the top of the mountain and the footprint of the Buddha or Mahakassapa. I couldn't recognize it exactly whose one. So anyway, this is what we can see on the top of the mountain. And this is another video, and near I captured this on the near the stupa. You can see far away, and the railway station and trains are moving. It's like very, very tiny when you see on the top. Okay, so and we took our breakfast on the top of the mountain, and you can see the beautiful view of far away from that top of the mountain, and also you can see train is moving, but it looks very tiny. And our friends having breakfast, and we really enjoy time there. It's amazing and it's astounding place. So that's the story about our journey to Kukkuṭasampāta mountains. And later, Arahant Mahakassapa, then during his lifetime, Arahant Mahakassapa's tooth fell out and his disciple kept it safe, and then they sent it to Sri Lanka in the 2nd century during King Duttagamini Abhaya's reign. He built this beautiful stupa, and enshrine is inside this stupa, so that everyone can pay homage for this stupa. Actually, this is the only one and only stupa where someone can pay respect. Arahant Mahakassapa's relic, as a relic, is a tooth relic, so enshrined there is very very amazing and beautiful place. So many Buddhist devotees come and pay their respect. So dear friends, I hope you learned something that what I shared about Arahant Mahakassapa life, and also my experience of trip to Kukkuṭasampāta mountain, Bihar in India, where Arahant Mahakassapa's Thera passed away and enshrined his body in that mountain. I will conclude my talk, and I will share more videos like this in future. Thank you very much for watching. May all beings be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.